let me welcome you on behalf of Tata Motors for the Tata Motors Pavilion, and thank you for having come here. Prawaas 4.0, the theme that Tata Motors has taken is of providing safe, smart and sustainable transport solutions. So keeping this theme in mind, the kind of products that we have, array of products that we have displayed here, be it the bus that we are sitting here and having this discussion, it's a 7-meter EV bus, which is the first of its kind in India, with a 21 seats, safe and comfortable journey. More so, it's a one more move towards electrification and work towards a net zero goal that government has taken. It's a commitment that Tata Motors has always shown, and this is taking us one step. We also have Magna EV coach, which is for long distance application. This is for city urban application and cities, and that's for long distance application. So we got two platforms on EV alone here, which shows our commitment towards working with the government for net zero. Urbanization brings in need for people transport. So you need a last mile transportation from the metro stations or a bus stations or railway stations. You need to have a vehicle to take you to your place of residence. So we have displayed the Magic Bifuel, which has got the dual advantage of petrol plus CNG, and that's well suited for last mile connectivity. For the post COVID, there is a significant improvement in tours and travels. People love to travel with families, and this is a trend that's kept up very well, and this is significant growth in this segment. We got a Wingard customized for 9-seater, customized for such tours and travels application, with a good 9-seater of luxury seats, backed up by a decent luggage space, offering a vehicle of monocoque, therefore very high comfort, ride and travel. So if you can, we have addressed this changing technology, last mile connectivity, personal travel. Now all these complement to the need for staff transportation, because urbanization or growth in economy brings in corporates, brings in manufacturing organizations. So they set up the plant, they set up their offices. You need to have an employee commute solutions, and therefore we have got two solutions here. One is on City Rate Prime, which acts as an intercity coach for a short distance intercity, as well as we can customize it for staff transportation. And we also worked on alternate technology in the form of CNG, which we have displayed as an Ultra Prime CNG, which again both are air conditioned, both can address different needs for the same set of application depending on the infrastructure available. After all this, you have to have a vehicle to connect tier 1 to tier 2, tier 2 to tier 3 for long distance safe and luxury travel, because urbanization brings in people movement. And we have today very happy to launch this 13.5 meter MCV chassis with an electromagnetic radar that will be an apt for long distance on once you build the body on this. So we have an, as I explained to you, we have got products addressing every other customer need, every specific applications and market segments. I will give this answer in two parts. So as a product and business, we move people. So when you move people, there are two sets of stakeholders who come. One is the end passenger who travels in this vehicle, and the operator who buys and runs it. So to give you an answer from the operator's perspective, India migrated from BS6 phase 1 to phase 2 recently. When this migration happened, one thing very specifically we took it upon ourselves is not to see this as just an emission migration, but use this as an opportunity to completely overhaul, revamp our product portfolio. So from this perspective, what we did, we went back to the drawing board, re-looked at the entire products, and 3-4 things we took as a primary deliverables. The first and foremost, for an operator, it was for the total cost of ownership. So how can you give a total cost of ownership? One, offer vehicles with the better fuel efficiency that brings down the cost. Offer vehicles that has got the best in maintenance offer vehicles with superior product quality, therefore your on-road availability is always higher. So this is something called a product charter that we have created, and we are tracking how well we are progressing on that front. The second thing is, once the vehicle is sold, he uses it for 8 to 10 years, and therefore you need to have an infrastructure and support system to take care of the post sales customer needs. We, through our network, have created a varied maintenance packages, fleet management solutions that offer customized packages to the kind of customer that he wants, he or she needs. And through the network that we have across the length and breadth of country, we will offer the best in class after sales support, and that we track through service charter. So the basic ethos is customer centricity, as I am explaining, with the pillars of product and service charter is what we are doing. So this is as far as the operator is concerned. Now I will come to the end passenger. There is a significant shift as far as the need for comfort, luxury, I may use the word luxury, safety as far as the end passenger is concerned. Now for comfort, how can we comfort? We are giving the best of air conditioning in this vehicle that you can see here. The seats that you are sitting are 3-point seat belts. This is the top notch in class in terms of safety. So therefore, there is a need to shift towards this kind of configurations. Today, all the vehicles that we offer, keeping safety in the mind, we are giving a connected vehicle platform. We have a Tata Motors telematics called Fleet Edge, which helps to identify, track on live where the vehicle is. That's number one. Number two, it goes beyond just tracking in offering you driving behaviors in terms of acceleration, braking and other factors, and therefore you can use this to ensure you train your drivers for safe and right way of driving, keeping safety and the total cost of operations in mind. Beyond this, we have certain configurations like advanced drivers, assistance systems, you have electronic brakings, electronic stability control, frontal collision, lane departure warning. All these are addressing the safety, evolving safety needs of the customers, and that we are incorporating in our products and offering now, and that is how we are shaping up this product portfolio. We are the leaders in this segment and we continue to sustain this leadership. More people coming in, more competition coming in, we take it as an opportunity to push ourselves for sustained innovations. To give you an example, when CESL tender came 4 years back, we were the first to come off the block, and I am very happy to say that we have supplied 2900 buses in 10 metro cities who have covered 16 crore kilometers cumulatively. So what does it translate to as a business? We have got an experience of having run the buses for 16 crore kilometers. We have got depot management, we have got maintenance practices, we have got schedulings, we have got drivers, we have got passenger travel understanding. All these learnings are going to help us in keeping us always ahead of others, because that kind of exposure that we have got is going to be unmatched. To bolster this, we are further investing on product portfolio and features. The one such example is what we are sitting here. This is a 7-meter bus, is the first of its kind in India. No one has got so far in India, and therefore we are already staying ahead of others with the kind of investments in R&D. We already have a very good capacity for manufacturing, especially you talked about EV, we already have. So we are staying ahead of others, and that will help us in the sustained leadership as we years to come. To give you a perspective, I will slightly go back on the history, then I will come here. When COVID hit, this industry was the one which was most impacted in commercial vehicles. Industry shrunk as high as 85% at some point of time. It impacted OE, it impacted operators, and impacted everyone. Fortunately, over the last 1.5 years, you can see this industry rebounding. To give you a statistics, Q1 of FY25 that we are in, industry has grown 39% over the previous year. That's the kind of growth that we are witnessing here. With improved pipeline from the state transport undertakings on the tenders, because they have also to replace the aging fleet, thrust by the government on electrification, staff organization expanding their operations and therefore need for staff transportation, rapid urbanization therefore needing an ecosystem for this, all this giving us an confidence and the hope that the industry's growth that we are witnessing will sustain. That way, if every segment in the passenger mobility is growing, so I cannot single out one, but I can give you specifics of how it's growing. Urbanization is happening, government is giving a thrust of electrification, and therefore there is a very good demand from the electrification perspective, and you know the tenders that we are participating, tenders that we are executing. STUs for improving their operational efficiency and replacing the aging fleet, good chunk of pipeline of tenders are there. So that segment also is showing very positive growth. Urbanization means setting up new residential locations, pockets of suburbs emerging, and therefore schools, corporate offices coming in. So that is propelling school bus demand, staff transportation demand. One very significant thing which I am sure you have witnessed is a family travel on weekends and getaways. That segment also is, earlier it used to be a bus, now lot of van transportation, because two families get together and go, and a winger sort of vehicle is apt for this. So if I have to give you a perspective, every application segment is growing, either a thrust from the government or the need for a getaways or for urbanization. So it's a positive sentiment across all segments of the industry. Yes, there are significant challenges even in this kind of positive growth. First, the changing emission norms, product prices have gone up naturally because technology comes in. Alternate fuels also is priced higher, and therefore total cost of operation is something that is important for the customer, and that's where we are working very diligently to ensure the products that offer the best of the attempt. The challenge that we take is to maintain a parity of TCO for an EV with respect to diesel. That's as an attempt, and we are, as a Tata Motors being the leader, we are trying for that. The second is, especially after post COVID, is the very strong finance scrutiny and ability to get a funding options. So loan to value ratio, funding norms, so and the model of funding, these are two challenges, one on product and the other on the ecosystem. Tata Motors has recognized these two factors. As I have explained, we are working to maintain, driving towards achieving a TCO parity. The work is in progress. We are engaging with government, we are engaging with financing stakeholders to offer innovative financing solutions. For example, EV is an higher asset cost, and therefore a good leasing options will reduce your barrier for entry barrier as far as financing solution is concerned for a discerning customer. These two are the two focus areas which in the near future which we are working on. Electrification first started off with an urbanized vehicle, because that's where the need for confined and infrastructure based electric mobility started. Now, as electrification penetration needs to go up, the next big segment is on the long distance. So what we have displayed today on Magna EV in coach is one such product or a solution in addressing this. In one charge you run for 300 kilometers, connect cities which is 350 kilometers. Along with the government, we are working on various options, like government is also giving an impetus to this. FAME, PLI, Bharat Bus electric bus program, all these are all a catalyst towards this. Right now electric bus penetration is at the very early stages in this. With the kind of products that we are launching, this like the one which we are displaying, 7-meter electric vehicle, Magna EV, all this build up to the overall ecosystem as far as the electrification on buses is concerned. We are working with the charging players also to improve on the charging infrastructure and minimize the charging time, number one. Total cost of ownership reduction is something that which is working on the vehicle efficiency, battery efficiency, that is we are doing as from the OE perspective. We are working with financing partners for offer a financing solution. We are working with government to impress upon them to work on payment security mechanism. Therewith it gives a win-win situation. Asset light model so that many people can participate. So all this, a combination of many of this will catapult the rapid penetration of EV, which we are very hopeful in the years to come. This is a beginning of the story, growth story, with STU replacing the fleets, augmenting the fleet, government giving an impetus through various electrification initiatives, urbanization propelling the need for last mile connectivity, staff transportation and school connectivity, people movement going up between tier 1, 2 and 3 cities, and therefore luxury coaches going up. All this, we certainly are confident that sustaining this kind of growth momentum that we have witnessed in the last quarter throughout the year in the coming months.